Hey y'all, welcome back to Key is King. Today we are getting into the latest Real Housewives of New York review. We're season 15, episode 11 now. We are getting closer and closer to the finale, hopefully. We are going to Puerto Rico in this episode, and the ladies are on, I think, their first cast trip of the season. And we are starting right away with the airport arrivals. Very typical, very introductory, if you will, but Uba and Aaron are both mentioning that they're essentially being cautious of each other, given the whole coming for you, confusing ass situation they're having. And as you know, if you are familiar and tuned in with this franchise and all of the talk around it, that this is being considered a very boring and unsuccessful franchise. And a part of that may be because it doesn't make any sense. Like, their drama, the dynamics, none of it, just, they seem to just be doing whatever the fuck they want to do. Which, like, in America you should, but in a reality show that's supposed to have some type of, like, feng shui to it, there's no feng shui here, is what I've determined, personally. But, I digress. They're arriving at the airport, they're cautious of each other, they're getting on the plane, whatever. They arrived at Puerto Rico. Seems to be beautiful there. I've never been and I want to go so bad, so I know that's like not even a hard trip to do, so maybe I'll plan that for the upcoming year. But they're there, the weather seems beautiful. Their house and villa, no, they're not saying a villa, I don't think. Whatever you want to call their house, it looks nice as well. And they are on the way. They're going in their little shuttle. And of course, the room situation comes up because that is one of the quintessential cast trip debacles, is always the room situation. Nobody wants to share a room. All these women are like, nope, absolutely not. Raquel and Jenna are already decided that they'll share a room because lesbians must stick together. But they're just very close. They're the oldest two. It works for them. They know they vibe. So all the other ladies are throwing like tantrums about not wanting to share rooms. Everybody's like, nope, nope, nope. They have their reasons why they can't. But inevitably, people will need to share some space on this trip. And so Brynn decides that she is going to take over the situation and say that she'll take the shittiest room, and then proceeds to go in and kind of pair the other ladies with how they should like room together. And Rebecca, Miss Minkoff, does not seem to really appreciate or like that, but isn't really defending herself either. And she's just like, who is Brynn to tell me who I should room with or what I should be doing? And that is a fact, but you need to say that out loud, which Aaron was trying to like goad her into like saying something. And then Aaron's in her confessional popping shit about how Rebecca's just scared of Brynn. She's like, what else could it be? Like, I don't understand what else it could be. And Jennifer Aniston, you know she is fake. You know she's fake. So I just, these like petty, mostly boring women are just like, okay. It's like eye roll. Like, they're just on the same pigeon hamster wheel. What a crossbreed, a pigeon hamster. But like, that's what these women are. They're pigeon hamsters, officially. Pull up to the house, and of course everyone is on a mad dash for the rooms. Everyone except Uba, that is. Uba's like, I told the ladies what I want, I'm not sharing, blah 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 blah. Brynn is going to take the worst room. So Uba's like, I'm chilling, I'm gonna go eat food, like why would I run around for a room? Meanwhile, everybody else is running around for their room because when a bunch of cutthroats, you have to do shit like that. And of course, who messes up the entire thing but Brynn? She finds what she thinks is the shittiest room, and she's like, okay, perfect. It's like the kids' room, I'll take this. It has a little kitty bed, perfect. Just to find out that the nanny room is the worst room, and it's like this little tiny room. And she's like, oh no, I'm not staying in there. After saying she would take the shittiest room. So little does Uba know, she's been placed in the shittiest room while Brynn takes this, I guess, second shittiest room. And okay, so Brynn just switches her mind, and Uba switches poles. Like, she went from one pole to the other, and she had a bipolar moment. She was outside talking about, it's just about being here with you guys, it's not about the room, I don't care about the room, da 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 da. She sees a little nanny room and loses her mind. We know Uba is the crash out queen of this franchise. And she's all of a sudden too rich for this shit, and she makes more money than Brynn, and she's going to the St. Regis, or she's going home, and just being very fucking, a lot. Even Sai was like, she's doing too much a little bit, just a little too much. And Raquel was shading the fuck out of a few people this episode. Like I said, she and Jessel are like the only real things that keep a pulse going over there in RHONY. But Raquel's like, Uba, I've been to your one bedroom apartment, like, this room is not that much bigger, or there's not that much of a size discrepancy here, like, please calm down. Which, facts. So Uba's having a temper tantrum about her room that she did not care enough to go look and investigate herself. So whose problem is that? Probably Uba's. Yes, Bryn is a liar, but Bryn's always been a liar. So what are you expecting from Bryn? That's why you should always double check your own shit. But that was funny to me because Uba really thought she was doing something. Let's make a long story short with the room situation. Sai was like, oh, I'll take the room, because Sai is literally a tiny little woman. She's probably like 4 foot something. Like, she is so petite. So Sai was like, I'll take the little room. And then Erin gave, I guess, her better room to Uba. And all was good in their world. Psych. Nothing is ever good in these women's world. Like, I mean, no, they get paid a lot of money just to fight and have drama, which, like, seems like not a bad gig to have. But, like, these women don't mean shit they say. They just be talking. So once the room situations are all settled out, everybody's kind of dispersing and hanging out and, like, popping into each other's rooms. Bryn goes over to the lesbians because, you know, she just has to have a moment. She has to be the center of everyone's attention all the time. And Rebecca comes over to, like, have a conversation. And somehow they get talking about the room situation, and Jenna's like, what is the big deal about everybody not sharing? And Rebecca's like, well, I have like 4 kids. I have people on me, around me all the time. I just want a break. I just want, like, I don't want to share shit. She's like, I just want to have a moment for me. And Bryn, of course, has something to say because she's boring Becky and all this stuff and blah, 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 blah. And so Bryn's just like, yeah, trying to, like, relate, but, like, in a kind of, like, a cunty way. Rebecca's like, well, you don't have kids. Like, if you had kids, you'd understand. And apparently this just upsets carbon monoxide Bryn just to her core. She's like, oh, I need to have kids. I don't have kids. You're going to tell me I don't have kids? You don't. Despite all of your struggles with wanting to get pregnant, you don't. That is a statement. But of course Brennan's like, that is the worst thing you could say to me. I can't believe it. But mind you, she's silently offended by Rebecca's comment, and she gets on my fucking nerves. Because just say something in the moment. Switch your attitude at the very least. Like, do something to let somebody know you're mad instead of sitting there with a pouty face repeating the question or the statement that was just said. She gets on my fucking nerves. And at the same time that this is happening, Jessel comes up and approaches them and is just like, has anybody seen my suitcase? Like, I cannot find my suitcase. And she is looking top to bottom in this house for her suitcase. She goes out by the lake or whatever body of water was out there. It might have been a fucking pool. And so she can't find her suitcase. It has her passport and all her personal items in it. And she's freaking out. So that kind of brings whatever Bryn and Rebecca round we have going on to a close, and transitions over to Jessel just like freaking the fuck out. And come to find out, Bryn has taken her suitcase and is hiding it for at least 45 minutes just to have Jessel, I guess, freaking out. And which further proves the point that she is a fucking hater, and she is so mad that she's not the star that she thought she was. And that Jessel is. And my whole thing about all this is like, these women are always picking and talking shit about Jessel, and to my recollection, Jessel has not really engaged any of them in a real way. Like, they're all mad because she offends them just naturally, and by being herself and sharing her opinions, and she doesn't have a filter, so she just says whatever the fuck comes to her mind. That's why all these women are so mad all the time, in addition to the fact that they're not the stars. Imagine if Jessel actually engaged them. They would be fucking seething. They probably have shrines in their closets dedicated to her. Because leave her alone. What are you really doing? Like, what's really the goal here? Because you look obsessive and you look fucking, like, you just look dumb. You just look dumb. So Jessel's freaking out about her fucking suitcase, and they're just like, ha-ha, hee-heeing about it. We move on to another worthy moment of Erin and Uba talking, because they really had to just chat before the vacation gets underway, but it was mostly Erin because Uba doesn't give a fuck. Uba said she said what she said. She's not changing on it. So what? Like, So they sit down because Erin needs to be able to have this moment in order to move on with her life, apparently. And so she's starting the conversation. Uba's like, I was just enjoying the fact that Jenna was getting gaslit for the first time. Because we know they being Erin and Jenna, had their first little friendship hiccups this season. And Uba's like, I'm just glad it was somebody besides me. Like, I'm glad she got a taste of that medicine. And Erin's offended because she swears she's not a gaslighter. And Uba's standing firm on the fact that she is. She said, I don't know what you want me to do. This is how I feel. This is how it is. And, once again, she's not exactly fucking wrong. But Erin is an ill-intended giver because the second she had the opportunity to, she's like, I don't understand why you're saying this to me. I just gave you my room. And she might even said that in her confessional and not to Uba because, you know, Erin is a confessional gangster. But she's like, I gave her my room, and she's like still saying that I'm a gaslighter. Baby, don't give shit if that's your plan. Because who wants to deal with that? Who wants to hear that? If you can't give somebody something because you want to give it to them, you just want to be brought it up or acknowledged or cheered or like kudos for it, go fuck yourself. Like, I don't get people like that. I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense. Like, but that's Erin in a nutshell. She is Jennifer Aniston for a reason. Like, this is literally the type of person, the quality that she is. Like, it's just like, you gave her that room just so you could say that at this point. That's what it's giving. And who wants to deal with that? Nobody. Nobody. And so as the ladies are talking, Jessel comes over and she's just like, have you seen my suitcase? Like, can anybody show me where my suitcase is? And they're like, no, what are you talking about? Like, and she's kind of like, what are you guys talking about? Are you guys okay? Like, everything fine? So that, like I said, it kind of brings what they were talking about to a close for now. They're just like slightly agreeing to disagree, but just like, okay, yeah, I still love you, like, this is how I feel, blah, 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 blah. This leads to Jessel being told and given back that her suitcase was in Bryn's bidet. Like, she hid it, like, in her bathroom, like, under, like, a shelf next to her bidet with a towel over it. Yeah, no, she would have never found that, and you're just fucking weird. Like, she gets on my nerves. Mind you, I'm a little crotchety right now, but, like, she really does get on my nerves. Like, she really does. So they end with all that shit. Jessel gets her shit back, and they're like, whatever. Jessel's happy, and she deserves her shit. I would have been burning that fucking vacation house to the ground if that was my bag, personally. But after that debacle, they're all gathering around, I guess, before some pool time, and they're all kind of slowly gathering into, like, a common space in the house, trickling in, trickling. And they start, of course, having, like, little conversations. And, of course, it gets messy quick, because that's what these women do. Like, it's their literal job. So all the women are sitting around talking. It's kind of, shocker, kind of boring. And so eventually they decide they're going to get in the pool, because Jessel, after she unpacks her stuff and finds her outfits, comes back with a little, like, pool look, and they're all just like, oh, Jessel has a look on, like, they're so obsessed with her. But Erin's like, okay, I'm going to go change for the pool. So the second she gets up, Raquel decides she's going to ask Uba about Erin. You could have done that about 5 seconds ago when they were all there, but I guess you're playing the game for real now, too. So she asks Uba about Erin the second Erin, like, walks away. And Uba's essentially just, like, standing on business. She's like, we can agree to disagree. I think she's a gaslighter. Like, I'm not going to change on that. Like, that's how I feel. And so, can you take any guesses on who went and immediately started saying and misinterpreting the information? Bryn, you're right, it was Bryn. Because she is a fucking miserable bitch. And so she goes into Erin's room and is like, they're talking mad shit about you right now. Like, oh my god. And Erin's like, wait, what? Like, why? Like, what is going on? And so, of course, Erin goes back and confronts the table, like, why are you guys talking about me? I heard you were just talking mad shit about me. Like, what is that about? And Bryn is over there, like, she literally is ordering a drink from the bartender and telling him to hurry up so she can go hear the drama she started. She's like, no, just put it in there, it's fine. So she runs over to the table just to be revealed as a fucking liar once again, because Uba was not talking shit. And she was not campaigning, which was the word that was used, against Erin. And Rebecca was just like, that's not what happened. And of course, Bryn is all offended that Rebecca is, like, clarifying what happened. But then she's, like, laughing at Uba. The whole thing is fucking crazy. But like the real moral of this story is, Aaron, why are you believing Brynn, who you like are sworn that you're not even gonna be like talking to about drama and tea anymore? Like, that's what I'm saying. It's nonsensical. Like, none of this has like any type of feng shui to it. They're just like having like short circuits and like just saying whatever. Like, I don't know what these chicks are doing. I really don't. So Erin is now offended. She's pissed off. She's like trying to take the Crash Out Queen title. She starts screaming and freaking out and like hitting the table, asking if she was in Looneyville. And Sai said, okay, like if Brynn is the leaky pigeon or the pigeon in general, then Erin is the chicken from Moana. And when I tell you, baby, that shit had me in stitches because, bitch, facts. Girl is rocks for brains. Because why are you like so confused and so involved with Brynn and then you're like, you don't get what's happening? It's just, it really is giving the chicken from Moana, and I'm so happy Sai said that because Erin just does not seem to learn. But wants to be in everything all the fucking time. Like, but Brynn was trying to backpedal out of her messiness when she got caught up in it. And it didn't really work because Erin still crashed out and still ran outside and was like, I don't understand why I'm always a sacrificial lamb to you guys. And Uba immediately jumps up. Now, mind you, she was clearly being kind of sarcastic, but she jumps up and she's like, I'm going outside with Erin. Like, I don't want to be in here with you guys. And then proceeds to, like, actually follow Erin and, like, go sit with her and talk to her. And Erin's, like, crying and upset and, like, why do you guys always do this to me? And, like, no, I don't want to talk to you. It's confusing. It's giving what is happening. I, the audience, don't know what's happening, and I'm starting to question if they know what's happening. It's the most haphazard drama and not even in an entertaining way. I'm like, what is happening? It just, there's no rhyme or reason. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Make it make sense. This is about the parts of the episodes that I start to like watch other things on my phone or just like really not pay attention. So I probably miss a couple details here, and ask me if I care. I don't. So they go to the pool. This leads everybody to eventually transition to the pool because Uba is outside talking to Erin, who went to sit next to the pool, and she's crying and she's like, Sai's, because Erin took a little poll before she crashed out of who thinks she's a gaslighter. And Sai raised her hand and was like, you just do weird stuff. Like, you just do weird shit, which she does. But Erin was like, what does that mean? Now I'm weird. And she's like mad at Sai because she's like does weird stuff. And she's like crying to Uba about how like they always do this to her and she doesn't understand and blah, 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 blah. So everybody comes outside in the pool and they're trying to have fun. Just something about it seems so inauthentic. Sai comes over and she's like, Erin, get in the pool. And she's like, no, I like have like a weird vibe. I'm like weird or something. And Sai's like, okay, get over it, bitch. Like, whatever. And then once again, the weirdness, the disingenuous nature, maybe that's the better word, or a word. Brynn, like, gets in the pool, she can't get her hair out, and she's like, all the black girls are in the pool, like, when do you ever, like, see this? Bitch, plenty of times, like, go to, like, a pool in, ethnic city, I guess. Like, what? Black people can swim, like, I just hate that type of shit. Cause shut the fuck up. And not that like percentages actually fucking matter, but like you are like a white passing woman talking about the black girls are in the pool. Like, shut up. Find something else. Like, she finds the dumbest, shallowest, like stereotypical shit to try to like bond and like be cute over, and it's so played out and annoying. It really fucking is. But they're in like split little groups in the pool and they're all talking about the Rebecca-Brynn situation. Brynn has her little couple of people that will listen to her. Rebecca has her couple people. Rebecca is trying her hardest to be shady. She's like, because they were all giving her the benefit of the doubt. Like, I don't think she meant it like that. She's like, not that type of person. And Rebecca's like, oh, I definitely meant it to like, as a jab. Which, good for you because it worked. And good for you because Brynn needed it. But Brynn is so upset. She's talking about how deep it goes and how fucked up that is and insensitive it is and yada yada yada. And Rebecca's like, she's always fucking talking shit and being a bully, so oh well. I'm glad somebody's trying to do something with Brynn, even though it's fucking Rebecca of all people. Of all people. So we end this episode finally with a dinner scene, and they're all going out to dinner in Puerto Rico, and they're looking cute and da 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 da. Great for them. They start by recapping Jenna's tag sale. Somebody asked her about it, and she was selling her clothes for money, charging people to get into her tag sale. Apparently this is all an effort to help pay for her teeth, because she's had like 1 million teeth surgeries and like reconstructive surgeries because she has like something going on, I forget. She just has a lot of dental issues, so they're like, oh, cool. And then they were like somehow asking her about her Bentley, and she's like, oh no, that was like rented, like they like lent that to me, like I didn't buy that. So where there's smoke there's fire, and you're brokey. Got it. From J. Crew to brokey, how we fall. How people fall. And literally, God bless, I don't fall real hard anytime soon, because I feel like I already am at the fall. But she is just going over her, they're pretty much reiterating that she's a brokey, and everybody's like, oh, so that story about the Uber with Aaron just really, that might be true. And maybe so. Maybe so. But we move on from that, and we go on to Raquel. Her mom is coming for breakfast tomorrow. She hasn't seen her in like 6 years, I think it is, at the time. So she's nervous about that. She doesn't know how to feel about that. And the ladies are just kind of talking about what that's going to be like and how they can't wait to meet her. They spend a couple minutes talking about Raquel, her mom, and just kind of that dynamic. And then we end with the reoccurring theme of this episode, which is Bryn and Rebecca. So Bryn re-engages a little bit because she just can't let shit go. And Aaron is trying to play like translator for Rebecca. It's just like, well, this is what she meant. Like, she wasn't trying to be offensive with the kid thing. And Rebecca's like, no, tag me in. Bryn, you're a bully and it needs to stop. And like, you're always saying shit. And so Bryn is offended, and we leave on a cliffhanger of them having a fight. Let's hope that this fight is like just the least bit noteworthy, but I don't have high hopes because I'm annoyed, officially, with these like nonsensical storylines, non-existent storylines, friends of acting like real full-time housewives. Like, I know there's already rumors and whispers of them canceling RHONY or trying to come back with like something else, and they should. Because as it stands now, I will not be reviewing this franchise again. And maybe there won't be anything to review come the future, but for now, that is it. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. Do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will be back for another video very, very soon.